This video is provided in part by a contribution from the Madeline Island School of the Arts, where exceptional classes are taught by world-class instructors in an extraordinary setting. Located on the largest of the Lake Superior Apostle Islands, the Madeline Island School of the Arts is just a 20-minute car ferry ride from the charming port of Bayfield, Wisconsin. This is where Island Magic combines beautifully designed facilities with unique workshops to provide an unforgettable experience in the arts.
I wish that there were a center like this in every community in the state.
The gift of the Art Center is support, encouragement, appreciation. You can't buy that stuff.
There is a ripple effect that goes way beyond sitting here in the Minnetonka Center for the Arts.
It's just a gift that keeps on giving.
Everybody has some core thing about themselves that they end up expressing in their artwork.
It's a way that people connect with each other in really profound and really personal ways, and that's why we think the arts really need to be a part of everyone's life.
When discretionary spending was cut just everywhere, the one place that continued to shine were the arts, and the reason for that is our Minnesota community. We understand that there's something almost intangible about the arts that brings such an enhanced quality of life. Research has shown forever that when kids are exposed to art at a young age, their ability to think creatively, to think innovatively is enhanced.
Because of the increase in public funding that's available from the Legacy Fund, art programs and activities are happening in many places that they weren't happening before.
It's not about just keeping this, its quiet little secret in this community, but being able to bring the magic of this community to the rest of the broader community in Minnesota.
The economic impact of all of the arts activities is more than $1 billion a year in Minnesota. It's a significant industry. A place like the Minnetonka Center for the Arts that employs artists, that sells the work of artists, is part of that industry and helps fuel that industry.
They have contributed by employing over 100 different local artists to be teachers, and not just in the Minnetonka Center for the Arts, but to go out into the broader community and to share their expertise and their talent. And so when they do that, they're actually contributing to the economic engine of our state.
I think one of the strengths of the Minnetonka Center for the Arts is that it's an organization that has been part of the community for more than 60 years. As the community has grown and changed, it has grown and changed as well. But it's really a very solidly and strategically run organization.
Look at the research, you can look at the facts, but then there's also just that intangible quality of the importance of the arts.
One of the tenets that we built the whole building around was that art should be limitless. I mean, art is limitless. Giving them all the various, the facilities literally to make art. Space that was truly dedicated to the production of art. We have the ability to display pieces in this room, for instance, that are 16 feet tall and can weigh a couple thousand pounds. The space lends itself really well, I think, to a variety of scales and mediums, which was, I think, really important, and an open invitation to the artist. Don't be limited by the space. Let your mind go freely and see what you can come up with.
It's a very freeing thing when we moved into this space. It kind of like opened up everybody's mind.
One of the things this building has done for us is that it has broadened and deepened the spectrum of ability that we have represented within these walls. This space and the quality of the studios has made a home for even the most advanced professional artists.
And I think it becomes the most public and overt example of what they do as an organization at the Art Center. So that you may not take a class, but if you come in here on an evening for an opening and wander around, and have a glass of wine and look at the art, that's your experience of this place.
This building enables us to do the thing that we do best, and that is that we make art approachable for everyone.
The essence of our mission is visual arts education, and that takes a number of different forms. The primary form being our studio arts classes. We also have a very well-developed and successful exhibition program. We also do an exhibit program off the property in the Ridgedale Mall. Another program that is very popular and that we've been doing now for more than 20 years is our Summer Arts Camp program for kids. We have a huge and very well-established painting program. We do lots of classes in drawing as well. We also do classes in jewelry making, glass, photography. We do classes in sculpture and ceramics.
This is the epicenter of what's happening in sculpture in the Twin Cities because it's the only community arts center foundry in a 5-state area.
In addition to our studio arts program, we have a number of opportunities on a regular basis for art-interested folks, people who might not necessarily ever take an art class and actually try to produce art, but they have an interest in the arts, lectures, and other sorts of workshops that are non-studio arts based.
I have students that drive 2 and 3 hours to get to class because this is such a special place.
Coming in here and sizzling away with a hammer and a chisel, it's just wonderful therapy. I'm just thinking, why didn't I try this a long time ago?
I don't think I'm the best painter by any means, but it's a great joy.
It's just such a great place to come and just meet people and share other people's art and learn from everybody.
To learn how to be an artist takes some exposure to working artists, and that's what you get here at the Art Center.
If I give a lesson, seeing what students do with it, you know, I just show them what to do and then I get out of the way and off they go.
Learning something like weaving is something so different in my life. I never did anything like that before. She made it feel like you could do it.
I've seen many examples over the years of people who have had a lot of anxiety and trepidation about taking that first step in enrolling in a class, and then a very short time afterwards are successful enough to produce work that'll make a show.
There's just such a sense of welcoming, and it just builds your confidence. I remember walked in there and I was nervous and I didn't know if I was going to be able to keep up with everybody, and I started just sharpening up old skills and allowed me to get back into fine art and pursue a fine art career.
It was being around this supportive, creative, really inspirational community of other artists that helped light the path on how to progress in my career as a professional.
On an annual basis, we have an average of 10,000 to 12,000 participants in our programs, both on and off the property. We work with an average of more than 50 different partners, and those partnerships include schools, libraries, social service agencies. It's a very broad-based, far-reaching program. We do a number of programs with children and youth. We do programs with developmentally disabled adults, and we do a lot of programs for seniors.
For many people, it's difficult to come up with the right words to describe an experience, to explain something that happened to them that doesn't make sense, to explain to someone else what they have experienced. But it's very common for someone to be able to paint about that.
Minnetonka Center for the Arts has been a very valued partner of Interface for many years. primarily working with many of the kids and their families who live in multi-unit family neighborhoods.
One of the most important things for us and what the Minnetonka Center brings to us is professional artists, and the idea that the art is important as important as the people that are doing it, and that it can be created by anybody.
Very often families who are living very close to the edge don't have the opportunities to pursue ways to become engaged with the community.
It's really expanding people's abilities to see what they can create with their own hands and their own thoughts and their own feelings and their emotions can really be connected to that art.
The most rewarding thing is to see children whose lives in many ways have been dark, to find the joy, and seeing them getting lost in a project is very, very gratifying. This is a resource that matters.
This organization wouldn't exist but for the community. We are extremely blessed that we live in a place, this wonderful state of Minnesota, where as a culture we're very arts-minded and appreciative of the value that arts and culture bring to our daily lives.
It's really up to the community to decide, are we going to make sure this is viable? Can this thrive? And the only way that happens is for people in the community to come together to invest in a place like Minnetonka Center for the Arts.
Art is a manifestation of your spirit, I think. I think it really reflects the essence of who you are and what you value and what's important.
I think ultimately it's about love and freedom and the ability to just be who you are and show people what you love to do.
These experiences, be they viewing art or be they making art, they can be life-changing for a lot of people.
The Minnetonka Center for the Arts really believes in the central role that the arts play in our lives. We believe that all people of all ages, all abilities, all backgrounds should have a chance to be involved in the arts in some way, in whatever way they're interested in doing it. And so that's why a place like the Minnetonka Center for the Arts is so important.